In this video, I'm gonna share with you how I spend less than 1 hour per day running an entire Airbnb business. You're gonna wanna stay all the way to the end. My name is Investor Mike. Thanks to you guys for being part of the team. If you find value, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm here every single day giving you the real deal Holyfield. No fluff, all real stuff on how you can win in the Airbnb arbitrage, or where you're looking to purchase. And I wanna share something with you guys because I think it's very valuable that you understand that how arbitrage works different from a purchase. So I'm gonna start with that, and I'm gonna tell you, back when I started in 2016, I was ready to purchase a property. I had the finances, I was ready to go buy the land. I'm gonna put an A-frame property up on a piece of land and I'm gonna Airbnb it. The problem with that is that you have to go to banks. You have to have your finances in a row, you have to have your ducks in a row, you have to have your, your taxes done, you got everything's right, you got to make sure your credit's good. And so there's a lot of criteria when you're going to a bank to get a loan for land and a property, which is fine, right? My ducks are in a row. But 2016, things were different. A friend of mine came to me and goes, hey dude, listen, you don't have to buy the property. Why don't you just go get a landlord? So I told Mark, I was like, Mark, wait a minute. You're saying that I can go to a property owner who already owns a property and I can tell them that I want to Airbnb their property and they're gonna allow me to Airbnb their property. He goes, yeah, it happens all the time. This is in 2016, guys. I thought I was late to the game because Airbnb really started in 2012. I'm like, there's no way 4 years later this is still hit. Here we are in 2024 and Airbnb as a whole is in 224 countries and over $10 billion in revenue per year. It's absolutely crushing it. The difference between a purchase is obviously credits needed, large down payments, interest rates you have to worry about. There's a lot of things you have to worry about, right? All your ducks in a row for your docs. On the arbitrage side, not a lot of that is the truth. Here's what we do. What I need you to do is I'm going to email you this and please sign this and basically, stating that we're not going to live in a property. You understand I'm not going to live in a property. You're allowing me to put the property on Airbnb and other short-term rental platforms. Now I have access to that property to basically put it on short-term rental platforms. This is arbitrage. We don't have to use banking. We don't have to have large down payments. We don't even have to worry about our credit score because in a second I'm going to tell you how we're not using our SSN. We're actually using our EIN number. So back in 2016, I got my first place because Mark came to me and said, hey, listen, dude, you got to go put the property, go find a landlord. So I didn't know. I went to an apartment complex. Unbeknownst to me, that's a stupid thing to do, even though you'll see these influencers on social media. Okay, I'm not a social media influencer. I am a person who changes things, right? I'm an innovator. You guys are listening to social media, these people, and they're telling you, hey, go get an apartment for your first Airbnb. It's garbage, okay? The reason it's garbage is because what they're not telling you is the same thing I just told you. You're gonna need docs, you're gonna need credit, you're gonna need business credit, you're gonna need, everything in order for all your situation and your personal and your business credit and XYZ. And if you don't have that, then why would you go to an apartment complex? You're pitching a business. That's a business versus Jack and Jill who own 123 La La Street, right? So remember this, single family or townhouses as your first Airbnb, not apartments. Well, I didn't know. 2016, I go into an apartment complex, I leased a place and put it under social. Here's the problem with this. 4 months later, after I'm cranking, got the place furnished, I get a knock on the door, right? And this lady's red in the face. She's tapping her foot. She says, hey, Mike, what are you guys doing here? I said, cleaning my Airbnb. She goes, cleaning your Airbnb? There's no Airbnb here. We've gotten complaints. I said, you didn't get any complaints. There's no Airbnb here, Mike. You're out. I said, I'm not out. I've got a lease on the property. You're out. Long story short, we got a 7-day notice. We were out of there, okay? I put a lot of hard work, energy, and time and money into this property where I rented it, but I didn't know not to go to apartments. So boom, I had to pivot very quickly. I got with my mentor and he's like, dude, if you fall down, you land on your back, as long as you can look up, you can get up, okay? You can't keep a good man down, Mike. And he said, you know what? Boom, I got up, I pivoted and went and got, single family. But I'm giving you this to tell you this. Back in 2016, things have changed a lot. Now you could have put a property up that could have had grandma's pictures on the wall, could have been just a rinky-dink, old appliances, right? You're not doing that today, right? People have caught on to the game. They're getting a lot better. They're getting skilled in Airbnb. Let me give you some tips on how you can actually do this. When I tell you I work less than an hour a day, I'm gonna share with you right now 2 things that I do where I run the entire portfolio for less than 1 hour per day. In fact, I'm really embellished. It's less than that probably, guys. I look at one software every day. So here's what we do. Basically what you're going to do, okay? And let me first unbunk, because a lot of people have said this. Can I get a property that's out of my city? In fact, most of my students are not in the city that they live in. They want to go outside. There's two benefits to that. One, because usually they don't live in a good area for Airbnb. And two, you're not going to want to go vacation in your own city. Look at the dual benefit of you doing this. As an Airbnb host, you can actually go stay at your property, block off the calendar, and now you and your family can go out and stay in the place, and you don't have to worry about lodging wherever you go. You'd want to pick a place that you and your family would love to vacation at. That's the cool thing about Airbnb. So you can be an Airbnb host and you have a place of your own that you can stay at, okay? Now, let's fast forward, because now you know that as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, you can run this business in any city, any state, any country in the world. Okay, you're gonna run this entire business from your cell phone. You're not going to your property, you're not hanging out the property. I've got students that live in Las Vegas that have property in Florida. I got people that live in Florida that have got property in Nashville. So you don't need to be in the area. In fact, I told you it's a better thing. So how do you run this business long-term? And how do you spend literally just a few minutes a day running this entire business? Well, the first thing you're gonna need is two softwares. So the first thing is people wanna know is, how do I actually furnish the property if I don't live there? There's a couple ways. Number one, I teach my students, we're not furnishing the property, okay? I'm gonna help you find the right furnished property. So that's one thing that's off your plate. You're not going out and going to IKEA and going to West Elm Outlet and all these different places to furnish your property and spend the time, energy, and money to do that, because I'm gonna help you find a place that's already furnished. That's number one. Number two, if you're not furnishing the property, what do you need to go there for? Well, you gotta put an e-lock on the front door, right? Maybe you have to have, stuff like supplies that are sent there. Yeah, Amazon does that. So you're gonna Amazon it, and I'm gonna show you in a minute how this works. But for now, if you need something like a quick handyman, what you're gonna wanna do is go to Thumbtack, and they can have somebody quickly go to your property to where it's at, and they can install an e-lock on the front door, which is a punch code, right? Where people can go, and it gives a remote number for each person that goes in, right? So now that it is a digital lock on the front door, and so you're not going there at 2 o'clock in the morning, obviously when somebody parties and they leave their keys at the bar, you're driving down to unlock the place. Everything's done digital. So that's number one, digital. Definitely go digital, no matter if you do it in your city and state, or if you do it in a different country or state or city, doesn't matter, okay? Go digital on the front door. Number two, you are going to want to make sure that your guest communication, and this is where your time's gonna be spent if you don't do this. Guest communication, what does that mean? When people are booking your place, they have questions. What is the lock? What is the Wi-Fi? What road should I take? What are some of the amenities in the area? What can I do here? What can I do here? Guess what? There is a service called Guesty for Host. You're gonna want Guesty for Host. Why? It has this little special thing where you can go in and type in basically any question you think that a guest would ask and answer it. And so when the guest answer it, it automatically bots the question and answer back to them. Hey, what is the Wi-Fi code? Boom, the software goes and hits it and sends it back whenever the guest has a question. The software sends the answer to them. Now, from time to time, do things happen where the question slips through because maybe you didn't think about a question, you can add it later, but you didn't have enough in the canned responses? Sure, but maybe we get 1, 2, 3 messages a day with our entire portfolio because we've got so many responses in there that we know the questions that people are gonna ask. That's gonna save you a lot of time. In fact, the software says it can save you more than 30, 40 hours a week just by having the guest communication done. But then you may ask this question, but how does the place get cleaned? What I do for my students is I help them find a professional cleaning crew inside the city and state that they're going to. For example, if you want to get your first property in Jacksonville, Florida, well, I've got a cleaning crew here, okay? We've already got the cleaning crew set up here. Even if you needed maintenance, I got it here. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida myself, for an example. But if it was in Nashville, I've got a cleaning crew there. They specialize on cleaning Airbnbs. So let's play this part out for a minute. You live in Georgia and you want your first property in Arizona. So what we would do is we're gonna set up, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set up an our Airbnb account. The second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna contact cleaners in Scottsdale, Arizona, who can go by your place and look at it, make sure everything's good, and they're gonna be the cleaner for the property. Your cleaner is your eyes on the property when you are not there. That's your best friend. In fact, it's the best teammate that you're gonna have in this business. Maintenance, Thumbtack, we have a problem. Hey, guess what? The sink got clogged. Okay, cool, can we have somebody go over and unclog the sink in 123 Lala Street? Boom, Thumbtack has maintenance people that can help you there, okay? What about when you have a property that's out of state? Well, it's a furnished property. So now it's in Arizona, you live in Georgia, it's a furnished property. You don't have to go to the property, but it needs some amenities. Maybe it needs small things. maybe not amenities, but maybe it needs, for sure, it's gonna need toiletries, right? So you're gonna need toilet paper and the basic essentials. You're gonna want waters, you might want to put out some snacks for the people, right? Guess where you need to go? Amazon. And guess what you do? You Amazon that stuff to the front door, and the cleaner puts it into the property for you because you're not there. You're running this business remote. I'm gonna give you guys a game. Let's play it out. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. If I had a property in Nashville, here's what I would do. I'm connecting with the landlord. We've put an agreement together. We signed a contract with the homeowner saying that we can basically use their property to put on Airbnb. Now, I'm gonna then reach out to cleaners that I have in Nashville, Tennessee, and say, hey, listen, I got a property right here at 123 Lala Street, and I would love for you to be my cleaner. I'd love for you to give me a bid. I'm gonna get a second cleaner back up. Okay, boom. Now, the property's ready furnished. Okay. Hey, cleaner, can you go into the property? Here's the code for the front door. Oh, by the way, we don't have a code for the front door because there's an e-lock. I'm gonna go on to Thumbtack and I'm gonna say, call them up and be like, hey, I need somebody to go over to 123 Lala Street to install this lock. I'm gonna Amazon the lock to the front door so that I can make sure that's done, and then have the handyman put it on the front door. Boom, the lock is on the front door. Now the cleaner can get into the property. They can do a walkthrough. They can report back to me and say, hey, this is what we need at the property. We need toilet paper, we need towels, we need dishes, whatever it is. We need the small stuff to get it ready for guests. Boom, they give me a list. I go to Amazon, I order the stuff. I then have it sent right to the property and tell the cleaner when it's gonna be there, when the shipping time is, and then boom, the cleaner says, hey, okay, cool. We're gonna put all the stuff into the appropriate places inside the property. And that's it, guys. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you an extra bonus. You wanna know where to find cleaners? Go to Turno, Turno.com. They are specialized. It used to be Turnover Airbnb. They've condensed that word to Turno, which is now professional cleaners who only deal with Airbnb cleans. They're different from regular cleaners, okay? This gave you a gem right there, guys. All right, now you know you can run this business from anywhere in the world. You can run this business from literally your cell phone. And when I tell you that hour that you're gonna spend, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna look at one software every day to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. I've got other videos where it's dynamic pricing. You guys probably see one right here. And that's where basically I look at a calendar every day through Guesty, which I told you guys to get, which also does guest communication, but it also has a pricing channel in there. So I'm looking at this. It has all the properties on there, making sure I'm not leaving money on the table. And then the guest communication is done automatically. My cleaners, they know when to go in, they know when to go out. Why? Because they have the same calendar as I have. So when a person gets there, they know when the person's there and they know when the person leaves. Guess what? They don't have to reach out to me, oh, do you want me to clean the property? They have the calendar. So they go in, they clean the property for the next person. Once that person leaves, they clean it the day the person leaves so that it's ready for the next guest. This is all automation, guys. And the small things that you're doing is very, very far and few in between. When a message comes to you through your cell phone, you pick up through Guesty for Host, and the 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day you're gonna spend basically looking at software to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. Guys, you wanna learn how to do this? I'm the best in the business, okay? Been doing this since 2016. If you want help, you want to do this the right way, you want to get your first Airbnb in 30 days or less, I'm the fastest person on this planet that can help you get a property. No questions asked, okay? I'm gonna be braggadocious because I'm the best in the game. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you want help getting your first Airbnb, put the word Airbnb in comments. And I personally will reach out to you and we can set something up and see if it makes sense for us to work together. Is that fair enough? Okay? Really simple. Put the word Airbnb there. If you truly are serious and you really want to do this, I'll show you how to run this business from anywhere in the world, okay? From your cell phone. I'm telling you, it's an unbelievable industry. It's not going anywhere. It's cranking, and I would love for you to work together. So if it makes sense, put the word Airbnb in comments and I'll personally reach out to you. God bless, be safe. My name is Mike. Let's roll.